Hey there, it's Guardsman Gord here again with my third installment of the Astra Militarum Codex review. So today what I'm going to be going over are the troops. Um, there's a bit of difference in the troops compared to our last codex, so I'll dive right into it. First off, we lost a couple characters. We lost Auerheim, we lost Chenkov, and we lost Bastogne. Along with we lost the entire unit of the Penal Legionnaires. So a lot of stuff gone from the troops. We're now down to two troops choices being veterans and the infantry platoons. Now infantry platoons, for the most part they haven't changed too much. Platoon command squads cost the same, infantry squads cost the same. You can still combine squads, they're still the same as they were before. Heavy weapon squads cost the same. Special weapon squads went slightly down in points. It's not that big of a change. I don't think I'm going to be playing them much more than I used to. The big points drop was in the conscripts. They are now cheap. Very dirt cheap. So it's going to be almost worth it to take big squads of conscripts because they're cheap. Throw a psyker in there, and you have, say, 50 guys re-rolling to hit on shots with ballistic skill 2. But ballistic skill 2 re-rolling is better than ballistic skill 3, and it's going to be cheaper than 50 guardsmen. Plus, you don't have sergeants in there with las pistols, so first rank fire, second rank fire is going to go off a lot better. Throw in a priest in there, and now you have a fearless blob of conscripts that can reroll to hit on their assaults. So they've gotten a lot better. They're a lot more useful now. They're going to be better for holding objectives. They're going to be better at assaulting and better at shooting, just because now they're cheaper and we have better units to put with them to do these tasks. They haven't gotten any new special rules. They lost, obviously, the send in the next wave, but they did get frag grenades. Actually, I think all of our infantry platoon squads can take or have frag grenades, and except for conscripts, every other squad can take crack grenades. That's going to be really handy, say if you drop in a special weapon squad with say 3 flamers to torch out some scouts on a backfield objective, and then a dreadnought comes and assaults you. Now you can crack grenade him and possibly take him out. Other things that have changed for our troops, let me open my book up here, are the veterans. Veterans went down in price, as well as their doctrine. So grenadiers, 4th centuries, and demolishers all went down in price, and I believe they all do the same thing. Snare mines changed. So other than that, they're all the same. You can still take Sergeant Harker. He's the one special character who survived for troops, but he kind of got a bit nerfed. He lost his Feel No Pain, and he lost Catechin Devils. So now you're going to have to foot slog them across the field. They no longer get that +1 to cover save. They can't infiltrate, they can't outflank. I guess he's now a bit cheaper than Chimera because they went up in points. But the only thing that really got better about him is now his heavy bolter payback is what's the word? Rending. It's rending. So that's better. You have a rending heavy bolter in a veteran squad, but if you really wanted a rending heavy bolter in a veteran squad, actually I don't know if no, never mind. I'm going crazy here. Okay, scratch everything I just said about rending on heavy bolters. So yeah, Harker's the only way to get rending on a heavy bolter. I for some reason was thinking that you could get an order to rend, but That'd be extremely, extremely greasy. But then you could have rending flamethrowers. Holy schnot. Um, Other than that, obviously veterans have stayed the same. The big thing that I found was a nerf to the veterans was the Chimeras. So, just to take a veteran squad in a Chimera with no upgrades to either, it's the exact same amount of points as was in the old Codex. So if you run your veterans and Chimeras, the points decrease and the points increase on the Chimera, cancel each other out completely. The big nerf to it though was going from 5 firing points in the Chimera down to 2. Yeah, 2 firing points. So instead of being able to run, say, a company command squad with 4 plasma guns and a plasma pistol, in a Chimera, you can only run basically 2 plasma guns because only 2 can shoot out of the top hatch. It's the same with veterans. I used to run 3 plasma guns in a Chimera, but now I'm probably only going to be running 2, and maybe, depending on if I have the points, either take a heavy flamer for anti-assaulting, because you know we play a lot of NIDs, and NIDs love to assault. Or I might take the 3rd plasma gunner just to kind of fill in for one of my plasma gunners blows himself up with a gets hot rule. Yeah. Chimeras did, however, gain a new special rule. Now the lasgun arrays on both sides of vehicles, those are now actually lasgun arrays. They each count as a separate weapon. So you have one array on either side of the Chimera. Each one consists of 3 lasguns, and you have to have a model in the Chimera to fire each one. Now, there's some controversy over these because the lasgun arrays is being shot at ballistic skill 3, and they state that they are weapons on the Chimera and can be shot at separate targets than the rest of the Chimera's weapon. However, because it's people inside shooting, does it count as if you're firing, say, out of a firing point, you have to fire the same as the lasgun arrays? Or can a Chimera technically be shooting at 5 different targets? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 4 different targets. The only way we could get 5 is if you have an engine seer giving it power of the machine spirit, but that's not really what I'm getting into here. Yeah, so you would have 2 lasgun arrays firing off at separate units, your multi-laser, heavy bolt, or heavy flamer, whatever you choose, firing off at another unit, and the guys coming out of the back hatch shooting at a 4th unit. Now the lasgun arrays count as ballistic skill 3 always. So if you move 12 inches with your Chimera, if you move 12 inches with your Chimera, they still get to shoot a ballistic skill 3. They don't have to shoot, or snap shoot, like a weapon normally would on a regular vehicle moving combat speed, cruising speed. So many different words that are so close together in the rulebook. Now we got the 2 new dedicated transports that are also in the Militarum Tempestus Codex, being the Taurox and the Taurox Prime. I don't really see using them a whole lot. They have lower front armor than the Chimera, and only, I believe, the Taurox can be taken by our troops. So, Taurox Prime, unless company commanders can take it, which I don't believe they can, yeah. The only people who can take the Taurox Prime seem to be the Militarum Tempestus. They're the only squad that can take it. And then, yeah, I'll get into the Militarum Tempestus when I start doing theirs. Anyways, now they only have 2 firing ports, well, 1 on each side. So you're only really going to be able to fire at 1 target with the Tau, whereas compared to the Chimera, you can fire 2 weapons instead of just 1. They also have the lasgun array. The Tau does have a twin-linked autocannon, which is much nicer than the multi-laser of the Chimera. But the Tau does not have searchlights, and its transport capacity is only 10. So if you want to start adding upgrades to it, it's going to become more expensive. I can see if you want to run a heavily armored list, running a lot of Tauxes, because they are cheaper than the Chimera, and they're cheaper than the Chimera used to be, if that gives you any indication of their points, because I still don't really want to say points, because Games Workshop might shut me down. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I'm afraid of that. Yeah. So, I'm not a big fan of the Tauox. I'm still going to be running my Chimeras. I still love the models. I still love the rules for them. The firing port thing is kind of a big kick in the teeth, but oh well. I'll deal with it. And the Tauox Prime, as I said before, it is their dedicated transport, but it can only be taken by the Militarum Tempestus. It has the battle cannon, and it comes stock with a twin-linked hotshot volley gun, which once again can only be taken by the Militarum Tempestus. You can change out the battle cannon for the Gatling cannon or the Tauox missile launcher. Out of those, really, I think I'd be running the Tauox missile launcher. I mean, that makes it just the Tauox Prime with the missile launcher, makes it twice the points as a regular Tauox. But firing 2 Strength 8 AP4, AP3 missiles, or 2 Strength 3... Well, I don't even know what the Tauox missile launcher. So yeah, Strength 8 AP3, Heavy 2, or Strength 4 AP6, Heavy 2 Blast. That is the way I'd rather go. If not, I'd stick with just the regular battle cannon probably, because it still is AP4. It's basically a small blast autocannon. Same range, same strength, same AP. And that's really handy, especially against Necrons, Eldar. It's not the best against Space Marines because you can't pierce their armor. But it'll do. It's strength 7 and it's a small blast. But yeah, my choice would be running the Tauox Prime with the hotshot volley gun and the Tauox missile launcher. Yeah. So really, with the troops, there's a lot of synergies that can go on here. You know, basically adding a Primus Psyker, a Priest, or a Commissar, or any mixture of the 3 to an infantry squad or a combined infantry squad can make it great at either assaulting or at shooting. Your loadouts are still going to be the same, probably say 30 guys in the squad, all with heavy weapons, with Primus Psyker, say for shooting. That way you can hopefully get twin link shots and ignoring cover shots from your Primus Psyker. And then with orders, you can either be ignoring cover if you didn't get it from your Psyker, or having Tank Hunter or Monster Hunter. That's going to be really deadly. For assaulting, I would probably go with a Priest and maybe adding a Commissar just to get, say, a Power Fist in there. On your Sergeants, you'd be taking all probably power axes. Get some special weapons in there, say Melt-A-Guns or grenade launchers or flamers, so that way you can move, shoot those, and still assault. The priest will be able to let you re-roll, as mentioned before in the last video. So they're going to work very well together. Yark is going to be great in combined infantry squads because with his new warlord trait, you're not going to be taking morale. You're going to be issuing orders, so you no longer have to take a company command squad and stick it back there with your combined infantry squad. So shooting is going to be better. If you get assaulted, you have a power claw in there. And yeah, I think that our troops, we're going to be almost, I want to say we're going to be a troops heavy list, but we also have some really strong armor. So I'm going to be running both troops heavy and infantry heavy, and I'm going to be trying like a hybrid list, kind of troops and armor, like armor up front, troops supporting with fire from behind. I might eventually get some special or some power weapons for some sergeants of mine. I have some unmodeled ready to do it. I just haven't gotten the power axes yet. And then I might try some power assaulting blobs, especially if I can ever get some priests. Does anyone know about that? Does Games Workshop still sell priests? I went to buy them and I couldn't find them on their site. Please leave a comment down below if you know. I'd really like to find out. Yeah, sorry. Off-topic rant. Other than that, veterans I'm going to be still sticking them in a Chimera. I'm going to be giving them less special weapons, so it'll be cheaper for me. Unless, like I said before, I give them that third plasma gun for when the guy blows himself up, because it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Or a heavy flamer to deter from assaults. Yeah. Those are our troops. Lost the Penal Legionnaires kind of sucked, because they were cool. I liked them. I never really ran them. I ran them once, or twice maybe, because they were cheap. I think I stuck Yark with them, so you get the rerolls on assault, and I was hoping for the rending ones. Anyways, yeah, I know a lot of people are really bummed out about that. Here's hoping for, say, a supplement that includes Penal Legionnaires, or a better Harker build with Catachan Devils built back in. Yeah, I feel like our veterans got hit hard. They're not as good as they were last edition. It's all about the infantry squads now. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. Click subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button if you really liked it. Comment below. Let me know any of your thoughts, anything you think about the troops, what you're going to be running, or how you'd like to run it. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks, this has been Gord from Basement Wargaming, and happy wargaming.